Thank you for joining me for practice. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel. And in the description is a link to my Patreon account. If you'd like to offer a donation, it's greatly appreciated. Namaste. All right, so this morning I'd like to start on our backs. So just come down onto your back. As long as it's comfortable, let the legs extend all the way to the floor. Arms down by the sides, palms face up. If you need, you can always place a block or bolster underneath the knees just to give a little height and support for the lower back, or certainly feet flat, knees bent is a possibility as well. But just resting here for a moment, take some inventory of how you're feeling this morning. And starting on the most basic level, begin to check in with the body. Notice if there's any areas of contraction or tension. You can also notice any areas of space and health. Maybe there's a particular area that feels so comfortable you forget that it's there. This is an ideal situation to almost forget that we have a body, to be in that good of a state of health. And then check in a little bit more with the internal organs. So just bring the attention into primarily the abdomen. Just notice how everything feels there. Does it feel stagnant or vital? Is there some dullness, or does it feel vibrant? And then begin to check in with the mind. How is the mind this morning? Peaceful, agitated, distracted, present? Does the mind feel tired or exhausted? Or is there some good energy there? And then checking in with the emotion, just noticing the emotional state. These waves of emotions that come in and go out, and sometimes we cling to them. So do the emotions feel activated or do they feel settled? And then from here, we're going to begin to deepen the breath. So bring the breath in through the nostrils, fill the chest, then the rib cage, then the belly, bringing all that fresh prana down into the abdomen and into the pelvic floor. And then on the exhalation, feel a little lift of the pelvic floor, the abdomen contracting in and slightly up, the breath moving up and out from the rib cage, from the chest, and back out through the nostrils. So on the inhalation, the breath descends from the top down. And on the exhalation, we move from the pelvic floor back up and out. And you can really concentrate your awareness that on inhalation, fresh prana and oxygen and nutrients are making their way into that lower abdominal region, and that on exhalation, we're lifting some of the stagnant energy that likes to reside there up closer towards the fire in the navel center. So this is when we pull the abdominal muscles in and slightly up. It's like we're lifting that stagnation to be transformed by the inner fire. And of course, whenever we add some form of fuel to a fire, the fire gets brighter and more radiant. And even there's some warmth, and we experience this in the physical body as well. And you can add in that ujjayi sound, ocean wave or whisper type sound to the breath. Just helps to regulate the flow so that we're moving towards even inhale, even exhale. And 2 more here, please. And then bring your legs together. Bring your hands together into prayer at the heart. And we'll set the intention for practice today to utilize this breathing technique where we're renewing the vitality within the lower abdominal region, all the important organs, with our inhalation and consciously sending prana down into that belly. And then on exhalation, really lifting the stagnant energy up for transformation so that not only are we cleaning and clearing out, but we're renewing and refreshing. And so you can look at your own life right now and recognize, where have I had some stagnation, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, in my life circumstances, and how potentially clearing that out or transforming that in some way gives me access to actually more energy, more time, more space to put that towards the things that I really want to accomplish, that I really want to achieve. So take a moment just to think about that in your own life and how it's personal to you. And then settle this in your heart, where we surround it with unconditional love and compassion. And then we're going to bring the chant of Om in, but we're going to do it with some movement. So arms down by your side, palms facing down. And on the inhalation, take the arms up and over the head and really stretch the fingers away from the feet. Again, legs and feet are still together. We're flexing the feet here. Keep the feet flexed as you exhale and bring the arms down, and really concentrate on bringing that abdomen deeply in and up, lifting that stagnation towards the fire. And we're going to do that with the chant of Om. So inhale, arms up and over the head. We can only chant on exhalation. So as we bring the arms down, chanting Om. Inhale as you stretch away again, really lengthen, create space, reach out from the shoulders. As you chant Om, feel that vibration move from the base to the crown. Four more, please. Last 2, again, concentrating on the sound as it moves up the spine on exhalation. And last one. Inhale, take the arms over the head one more time. Interlace your fingers and push the palms away. And really stretch from the hands through the feet. Again, create as much length as you can. Really reach up out of the waist. One more breath here. And now leaving your left arm over the head, take your right hand down to your right thigh and start to bow the upper body. So lean over to the right. You might have to lift and move your shoulders slightly. And now press through the heel of your left foot and reach the top arm over the head. And really feel the lateral begin to open. Send a little bit more of the breath and therefore the prana into the left lung, all the way down into the hip. Really begin to feel that you're enlivening this left side of the body. And one more full breath here. Again, do you notice any areas of stagnation? Can we begin to clear some of that out and replace it with some fresh prana? Let's transition to the other side. So we'll shift back into neutral on our mat. And then inhale the right arm over the head. And again, we're going to bow the upper body. So you have to kind of move the shoulders over to the side. Press now through the heel of the right foot, really activating that leg. And then breathe into the right side body. And you might notice some similarities. You may also notice some differences between right and left. Either way, keep deepening the breath and remember the pattern. We're moving from the chest down into the abdomen and from the abdomen on the exhalation back up, out through the chest. Really fill that right lung now with breath. Last one. And then slowly come back, bring the right arm down. Create that neutral spine again and just feel just that 2 movements we've done, any difference in the vitality of the body. Good, right knee in, keep the left leg extending long, keep the foot flexed, and now draw the right knee in as close to the armpit as you can. Excuse me. So right knee in as close as you can as you push the left foot away. And just feel some compression there on the top of the right thigh. Again, some of the stagnation in the digestive area can be expressed through the muscular system. We find a correlation here between the top of the thigh and the large intestine. So we might want to think about how our digestion's been lately. And then we'll switch. We'll take the left knee in, extend the right leg long. And again, we're going to really push that right heel away while sending the knee as close towards the chest as possible. You want to feel that separation between the inner thighs. Maintain the breathing technique. Keep returning back to it. Even when the sensation builds, it's easy for the mind to become absorbed in sensation and to forget the technique. So we want to maintain that particular breathing today. Good, now we're going to bring the right knee back into the chest, extend the left leg long to the floor again. Hug the knee in. And now, depending on your strength in your abdomen, see if you can lift your left leg just a few inches off the floor, and now take your forehead towards your knee. So really contracting your abdomen here. Draw the belly button down towards the back side of the body. Use that core strength. Whole abdominal area is contracting. See how high or how far you can get that chest off the floor, including the shoulder blades. But we don't want to send the abdominal muscles up towards the leg. We want to push the belly button down toward the floor. One more breath here. And now release, and we'll switch sides again. So left knee comes into the chest, hug it in, and when you feel ready, start to take the right leg a few inches off the floor, and now lift the chest. Contract the abdomen, bring the forehead towards the knees. Try your best to get your shoulder blades off the floor, really activating your core here, and bringing some stimulation into the abdominal region. So we were talking about sending that stagnant energy into the fire, but we want to make sure the fire is activated and very vibrant. It's like if we had a campfire and it was starting to die out and it was weak and we threw a bunch of wood on it, we would just end up smothering it. So we want to get that nice and strong. One more breath here, lift a little higher, and then lower everything down. Take a moment to just feel that abdominal area. Good, knees to chest. And we're going to cross our ankles here, hook the index middle thumb around your toes. And then we'll just do some rock and rolls here along that spine. So inhale the legs over the head and then use that momentum to roll up into a seated, dip forward, and then go back again. And just keep rolling back and forth through the spine. Now make sure the spine stays rounded. We want to have a nice curve like a round ball versus slamming any flat part of the back into the floor. Keep the chin tucked. Couple more rounds here, just feeling some pranic stimulation, some warmth come into the spine. Last one, please. And then you'll come all the way up into a seated position, extend your arms long, and just for a moment, feel all that sensation. Take it in. It's very easy for the mind to grow quiet when it feels that bodily sensation. Very nice. So we'll make our way into tabletop, please. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, tops of the feet anchoring firmly into the floor. On the inhalation, lift the heart, lift the sit bones, and look up. On the exhalation, round the back, take the navel to the spine, and bring the sit bones to the heels, child's pose. Slight bend to the elbows, squeeze them towards the midline. Inhale, come back up again. Heart lift, sit bones lift. And repeat. As you exhale now, really concentrate on that pelvic floor and navel lifting in and up. And you can even take a little more time to go back here to really feel that. Inhale, back up. One more time like this, please. Inhale. Exhale, lifting that pelvic floor. Tailbone goes in. Navel draws in and up. And now we're going to shift into downward facing dog. So you'll inhale into tabletop first. And exhale, tuck the toes to downward facing dog. We're going to stay here just for one breath. So just one complete inhale, one complete exhale. And then inhale, bring the knees to the floor and repeat. Heart lift, sit bones lift. And exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. We'll stay for 2 breaths now. Send the inhale down into the pelvic floor. Exhale, lift it back up and out. And then inhale your knees to the floor. Heart lift, sit bones lift. And once again, exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here now. As you're breathing, begin to notice some of your alignment principles. Feet hip distance, toes in slightly, heels out. Inner thighs rolling in and back. Really allow those sit bones to lift and spread. Extending through the spine, roll your shoulder heads away from your ears. Hug the inner elbows towards the midline. So you're really contracting the triceps towards the upper arm bones and then pressing firmly through the web of the index and thumb. And then inhale, bring your knees to the floor. Heart lift, sit bones lift. Last one, we're going to exhale, move back into downward facing dog. And now staying in downward facing dog, just notice that we can really utilize this slight inversion to accent that navel drawing in and up. So we want to get the sensation that we're hollowing out the belly, and we're going to work on that a little bit here. So as long as breath retention is comfortable for you, you're going to take a full inhale. And then exhale the breath out, but keep it natural. No forced exhalation. And then with the breath completely held out, draw the abdominal muscles deeply in and up for a moment, holding the breath out, and then see if you can push your hips away just a little bit more to lengthen the waist, and then take an inhale, exhale when you need to, relaxing the musculature. And we'll repeat that 2 more times. Full inhale. Exhale completely. No strain.
On retention, hold the breath out, lift the abdominal muscles, pelvic floor deeply in and up, hollowing out the belly. Hold that as long as is comfortable. Push the hips away, get a little bit more depth to it, and then inhale and exhale. We'll do one more. Repeat this one on your own. It's a very personal practice. When you finish, bring knees to floor. Sit tall on your heels. Sit bones to the heels and just rest your hands comfortably on your lap. And just take a moment to just let everything settle. Observe sensation. You can have eyes closed or soft gaze. And return to that breathing. So inhaling in and down towards the pelvic floor, filling it with fresh prana. Exhaling, pelvic floor and navel in and up, lifting the stagnant energy towards the digestive fire. 2 more. So we'll be performing these asanas today, but the main purpose, the main focus is going to be on maintaining this breath as much as possible throughout the practice, the awareness of it and what it is good for. Good, hands forward, inhale, heart lift, sit bones lift. Exhale, tuck the toes and find downward facing dog. And from here, we're gonna walk the feet forward to the fingertips. Take your time, keep a micro bend in your knee if you need it. Feet about hip distance apart. Let your upper body really hang over your legs and head and neck releases here. So completely let go. I'm taking the hands onto the back of the thighs, rub down a few times from the glutes to the Achilles, and just coax the back of the legs to open. With any stiffness there, just releasing it. Good. And then hands onto the back of the thighs. Squeeze the elbows in towards your side body. And then flat back, slowly come up to standing, but just leave the hands there on the back side of the body. So a little bit of a dynamic action here between forward bend and half forward bend. So we'll inhale. Full breath here. Open the chest, lift the collarbones as you exhale. Contract your abdomen. Hands are now going to slide down the backs of the legs as you forward fold. Once you get to the bottom, hands can go on shins or fingers in alignment with the toes. Inhale, you're going to lift halfway up for monkey pose. Really draw the tips of the shoulder blades down the back. Chin can lift slightly. And then exhale, navel in, forward fold, back over the legs, coming to the deepest version of the posture as possible. And then bring your hands onto the back of the thighs, squeeze your elbows in, and slowly come back up into a standing position. We're going to go right back into the exhale. Exhale, forward fold, navel's in. Soften over the legs, hollow out that belly. Good. Inhale halfway up your way. So fingers on the floor or shins, but you're going to really extend sternum from pubic bone. Exhale now, really pull the belly button in and come closer to the legs as you forward fold. You can have a micro bend in your knee here, and then hands onto the back of the thighs, squeeze the elbows in, and slowly come up to standing. So we'll do 2 more full rounds here like this. Exhale, fold. Inhale halfway. Lift the chin slightly at the end. Exhale, fold. And inhale, elbows in as you pull up. Full breath in, really spread the collarbones. Last one. Inhale halfway. Get that breath all the way down into the pelvic floor. Hollow it out. Lift that pelvic floor and abdomen in and up. Hands on the back of the thighs. Inhale, lift and rise. And then just for a moment, stand in Samastiti and feel some movement of energy in the body. Take all that fresh oxygen and prana and send it into the lower region of the abdomen. Lift any stagnation closer to the fire. And you can actually really have that physical experience of the fire here as you feel that concentrated warmth in the abdomen.
Very nice. So we're going to come back to the front of our mats, and then we'll just step our left leg back. I want to have about 3.5, 4 foot stance, so it's a little bit longer here, but hips are squared forward. Press into the ball of the front foot, angle the back foot, and press into the outer heel. Take your hands onto your sacrum, palms facing up. Right hand is going to stay on the sacrum. Inhale the left arm up, and you're going to come into warrior one, but lean forward slightly so that you're at a slight diagonal. Exhale, straighten the leg and bring the arm down. Repeat that. Inhale, lean into warrior one. Come forward. Think of really reaching away from the back heel. And then exhale, straighten the leg and bring the arm down. Again, inhale. Not only are we pressing into that back heel, but we're lifting out of the weight, really activating that left side of the body. Exhale. Please, 2 more with the chant of Om on exhalation. Inhale. Now inhale into warrior one, just like we were doing. Now lift the heart. You can look up slightly, don't collapse the back of the neck. Keep extending through the waist. So pull the low ribs in and actually feel a stretch there in the abdomen. Concentrate on that physical breath we've been doing. So inhaling in and down, sending prana into the lower region. Exhale, really concentrate on lifting that abdomen and pelvic floor in and up. Couple more breaths, steady your gaze. If it helps, you can mentally repeat the chant Om on exhalation. Last 2. And then gently release the arm, step forward, find samastiti. Observe, again, we're looking for that vitality, that pranic experience of awakening and enlivening. And we'll repeat the other side now. So left leg remains forward, right foot steps back, and really you're at about 3.5, 4 foot stance, depending on your leg length. Hips are facing forward, so we're in a squared hip position. That means front foot straight. Angle the back foot, press into the outer back heel. Again, we'll take hands onto sacrum. This time the right arm's going to reach up as we bend into the front knee. Inhale here, move into the back bend, and you're at this like slight diagonal versus being into a deep back bend. And then exhale, straighten the leg and bring the arm down by your side. We'll repeat that again. Inhale, lean into the posture. Opening up that right upper back. Exhale, come down. And 3 more, we'll do it with the external chant. Inhale here. Feel it traveling up the spine as you chant. One more. Now go into the posture to stay. Have your gaze either steady forward or slight up. Eyes focused. Comfortable gaze. Reach through that right elbow, extend through the right side body, and keep anchoring into the back heel, feeling both sides of the body really lengthen away from the waist. So creating more and more room and space, and you can mentally repeat that chant of Om on exhalation in the mind. Make sure that on inhalation, the breath is getting all the way to the pelvic floor. Feel some of that vibrancy building, lifting that stagnation to the fire. Two more, you've got this. Breathe, let the breath sustain you. Good, and then lower the arm, step forward, and again, just take in all that sensation, all that vitality. Instead of letting it dissipate, take it deeper into the body, into each and every cell. See, the yogis were wise, they didn't think we needed to work harder. In fact, it was how can I exert the least amount for the most amount of gain? And working on that pranic level is a key to this. One more breath here. All right, so grabbing onto a block if you need it, placing it between your inner thighs, or you can just have your feet hip distance apart or big toes touching, space between the heels. Hands together in front of the heart, we're moving into chair pose. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, sink into chair. Stay low in the hips. Inhale, lift higher. Exhale, sink lower. Inhale. Open through the chest. Exhale, stay low. 3 more, please. Again, if it helps, mental repetition of Om, feeling it travel up the spine. Now inhale on the last one, reach up as high as you can, and exhale, forward fold. Settle for a moment. Inhale into monkey pose, hands either on the shin or floor, sternum away from pubic bone. And exhale, we'll step back to plank position. So just for a moment and holding plank position, press down through the hands, press up and out through the heels, and really activate the core. Feel that stretch moving into the upper back, that the more you activate the arms and the hands, you turn the chest muscles on and you actually lift and round the upper back slightly, engaging the core just a little bit more. Again, feeling that fire, prana, activating in the navel center. One more here. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath to settle, return to the breathing technique. And now step your left foot forward to your fingertips. We're going to take this nice long stance here. So heel to arch alignment. Come up through what feels like warrior 1, open hip and shoulder to the right, warrior 2. And again, we're going to have the outer back foot angled very slightly, not so much as we did for warrior 1. Press into the ball of the front foot. I like to lift my toes to activate the arch of the foot. Makes me feel more stable. And then inhale the arms long. And exhale, take the left forearm down to the thigh. Right arm up and over the head. Bend into the knee. Open up, get that nice long line of energy. And then inhale, rise back up to standing. Front knee stays bent. Exhale, left forearm comes down. Right arm goes up and over the head. Challenge the knee a little bit. Go a little deeper than you normally do. Inhale, come back up. One more here. Exhale, the left arm down to the thigh. Right arm up and over the head. Now, we're going to keep that top arm over the head. Take a full inhale. Really activate this right side body like we did at the very beginning of the practice. Exhale, pull the abdomen in. Inhale again into the right lung specifically. And can you pause the breath for a moment or two? Holding the prana in that right side body. course, exhale when you need to, no strain. Repeat it. Inhale into the right lung, pause and hold the prana there. Exhale when you need to, no strain. One more like this. We're not sinking in that bottom shoulder. Inhale into the right lung. Pause and hold. Think of collecting prana in this area of the body. Exhale when you need to, and then inhale the right arm up. Come back up into standing. Turn the toes in and bring your hands to your hips. Stand for a moment in a wide stance. If it's too wide, you can certainly heel toe your feet back into the center a little bit. Notice again, vitality. And then we'll switch sides. So if you did narrow your stance, return to a slightly wider stance. It's like 4.5 feet now. Front heel lines with the arch of the back foot. We've just shifted the feet to the other side. Inhale, the arms reach up, opening to the shoulder distance, and then exhale, bend into the right knee this time. Take the right forearm down, sweep the left arm up and over the head, and really work on that long line from outer foot to fingertips, challenging the front knee. Inhale, come back up. Keep the front knee bent. Exhale, take the right forearm down, left arm up and over the head, go into that knee a little deeper, navel hugs the back body. Inhale, come up. One more, exhale, moving into the posture. Inhale, come up. Okay, now this time we're gonna stay, so we're gonna exhale into the posture and then work on that breathing with retention. So get that nice long line again, challenge the front knee, full inhale here. And now pause the breath for 1 or 2 counts, maybe 3 if it's comfortable, holding prana right in that left lung, but no strain. Exhale when you need to. Again, full breath in, don't sink in that bottom shoulder. Pause and hold the breath on the left side now. Exhale whenever you need to. You've got one more like that. And then inhale, the left arm is going to come up. Slowly come back to standing. Again, turn your toes in, hands to hips. If you need to shorten that stance a little bit to feel more comfortable, please do so. Rest here. Concentrate your attention in the abdomen, and when you're able to, return to that breathing technique. Filling the pelvic floor with fresh prana, exhaling and lifting stagnation to the fire. And you can find a reference for this particular breathing technique in the Hatha Yoga Pradipika. In the second chapter of Pranayama, it really talks about utilizing this breath as a way to completely transform and to vitalize the central channel. So one last breath here. Good. Now inhale, lift your chest, open up through that front body, and exhale, fold past the hips. Allow the hands to slide down to the ankles. Keep the elbows bent out wide, and then use the grip on the ankles to just very gently draw your chest a little closer to your thighs, challenging the forward bend. And then make sure you're leaning forward in the balls of the feet. Now, to feel stable here, on each exhalation, really take the navel deeply in and up underneath the rib cage. Hollowing out that belly. Two more breaths. See if you can go a little closer. Again, a little micro bend in the knee is perfectly fine if you need it. And as those elbows are bent, shoulders are still away from the ears. So we're letting the traction of the heaviness of the head open up the spine. Last one. Now, hands underneath the shoulders. Lift your chest halfway up. Place your left hand directly underneath your face. Inhale, take the right arm up and over the head. Inhale your top arm forward. You can look at the fingertips if you'd like. Exhale, look at the fingertips as you twist a little deeper to the right. Inhale the top arm up and over the head, looking at the fingertips. Exhale, rotate. Squeeze and twist, looking up now at the ceiling or the hand. And one more. Inhale. Exhale. So we're going to do the next two with the chant of Om on exhalation. Inhale. Release, surrender down in the center for a moment. Just kind of feel that symmetry. Let the head hang. Breathe all the way down into the pelvic floor. Lift the pelvic floor as you breathe out. And we'll do the other side. So right hand directly underneath the face. Inhale the left arm up and over the head, or straight up in the air rather. Inhale now, take the top arm towards the front, looking at the hand, elongating the left side, and exhale, look up at the hand as you twist and rotate the navel to the left. Repeat that. Inhale, arm goes forward, create as much length as possible. Exhale, squeeze and rotate. Good. 3 more with the chant of Om. Inhale. Om. Om. One more. Now forward fold, surrender. Again, find symmetry. This allows the body to adjust, to acclimate to any imbalances that might be there. Heel toe your feet to hip distance apart, and then hands to hips. Scoop the heart and slowly take your time, rise to standing. And then just take a moment to let everything settle. Feeling the warmth in the abdomen. Feeling the vitality. Okay, so if we really want to unlock some of that stagnation that's here in the abdomen, we're going to do a Uddiyana kriya, which requires that you hold the breath out. So if you're not comfortable holding the breath out, I'm going to first teach Agnisara prep, which requires no retention at all. But then if you are comfortable, we're going to work on holding the breath out and sucking the abdomen deeply in and up, similar to what we were doing in downward facing dog. So bending your knees, bring your hands midway between your knee and your upper thigh, finger point in. And your posture here is really this straight arm, straight spine posture. On your inhalation for Agnisara prep, you're going to fill from the top down again. And as you do, lift the sit bones slightly. So you're bringing in that little bit of an anterior arch to the spine. And now exhale, you're going to take the tailbone in, round the back, and you're pulling the exhale up from the pelvic floor through the lower abdomen, pressing the breath out through the ribs, through the chest, and just when it's like you're holding your breath, just you didn't get to that end, you're going to inhale again. So inhaling, the breath goes in and down, and heart comes forward, tailbone lifts as we get that complete inhalation, and then exhalation, we begin in that pelvic floor, really taking that tailbone in, lifting the pelvic floor, navel, rounding the back. So this is your Agnisara prep. Now, if you're doing Uddiyana, you're going to take a full inhale in, just like Agnisara prep. Let that tailbone lift, create that space, get as much breath in as possible. Now, exhale all the breath out. So same thing, lift and pull that tailbone in and up. Lifting pelvic floor, let all the breath leave though. So get as empty as possible. Now, once you get empty, hold the breath out. Don't breathe in. And now suck the abdomen deeply in and up. Pelvic floor is lifting.
You're going to hold that breath in and up. Arms are straight. Spine is straight, but chin is in. One more. And then relax your musculature. Take a breath and release. And sometimes it's nice to stand in between. Just depends on how you feel. So let's do that together. Full inhale in. Exhale all the breath out. The more breath you get out, the easier that suction is going to be. Now, straighten arms, straighten spine. Suck the navel deeply in and up on the retention, lifting pelvic floor. Spine is straight, arms are straight, but you're tucking that chin. Really pulling everything as high up towards that navel fire as you can, and then relaxing the musculature and taking a breath. Again, if you like to stand in between, that's just an option. One more if you want to go a little deeper. You're going to inhale, full breath in. Exhale all the breath out. You're going to perform Uddiyana, so you're going to suck the navel deeply in and up, and then you're just going to dip your right hip back a little bit, bringing in a little twist, and then dip your left hip back a little bit. So you're kind of manipulating the suction, really moving through some of those internal organs. Again, as soon as you need to breathe, you're going to relax the musculature and take a breath. So this is very personal practice. Let's do 4 more. Inhale. Exhale. If you're feeling warmth, I think of that like a dam that's just bust open. If we had all that stuck prana, now it's starting to flow. 3 more here. And last one. And then stand in Samasthiti for a moment. When you finish, just observe. Notice if there's warmth there. Keep your attention concentrated in the abdomen and return to the breathing technique. Good. We'll make our way down to the floor with a vinyasa. So come to the front of your mats, either big toes touching, space between the heels, or feet hip distance apart. Inhale, lift and rise. And exhale, fold. Inhale halfway. And exhale, step forward, lightly hop back to plank position. It's our first one, so bring knees to floor. Squeeze the elbows tight, chaturanga as the belly comes down. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, come back down. We'll come onto our tummies and turn our cheeks to one side. Arms by your side. Let everything settle into the earth. Completely relax, including glutes. Turn your cheek to the other side. Okay, so hands under the shoulders, fingertips lined up with the tops of the shoulders. Pull your elbows in. Feet are about 4 to 6 inches apart, and the tops of the feet are anchored deeply into the earth. As you inhale, lift halfway up for cobra. Pubic bone, low ribs stay on the floor. Exhale, turn your cheek to one side and come down. Inhale, press into the pubic bone. Low ribs stay on the floor. Very little pressure on the hands. Exhale, turn your cheek to the other side.
And repeat that. Inhale, come up. This time we're going to stay lifted as you exhale, chant Om. Om. Now inhale to your highest peak. Pubic bone's the only grounding point here. And then we'll exhale Om as we come down. Om. Turning your cheek to one side. Repeat that. Inhale, come halfway up. Stay and chant Om. Om. Inhale, press all the way up to high cobra. Pubic bone is your grounding point. Exhale, turn your cheek and chant Om. Om. Good, one more. Inhale, come up halfway. Stay. Om. Inhale, come up higher. Now stay in the higher position as you chant. Om. Inhale here. And exhale, mental chant as you slowly come down. We're going to do that one more time on the other side. And remember to feel the vibration move up your spine. Inhale, low cobra. Om. Inhale to your highest peak. Stay and chant out loud. Om. Full inhale here. Silent repetition as you come down. And now keep your cheek turned to one side. Release your arms. Completely let go. Turn your cheek to the other side. And then from here, roll over onto your back. So just for a moment, feet flat, knees bent. You can just let the knees fall into one another and take a rest. Good, one more. Now we're gonna move into Navasana, so hands underneath the knees. Use the momentum with the legs in the air to roll yourself up into boat pose. So you're just gonna come to about halfway here. You can stay with your hands underneath your knees and your knees bent. You can keep the hands there and straighten the legs. Or if you're feeling really comfortable, you're gonna extend both arms. Keep the spine long here. If it helps, mental repetition of Om on exhalation, 5 breaths. One more breath. Hug your knees into your chest and then cross your ankles and sit tall for a moment and just rest. We're going to come onto our back. Once again, we'll bring knees into chest. Place your hands on top of the shin bones, so you're kind of cupping the shin bones. Inhale your right knee away while you turn your left cheek into the mat, pulling your left knee into your chest, and then switch. Press your left knee away, pull your right knee into your chest, and turn your cheek to the right. Repeat that. Left knee in, right knee away, left cheek to the mat. Right knee in, left knee away, right cheek to the mat. And just keep going back and forth until you feel that you're freed up any tension that may have been there from the final posture. And last one here. Good. Both knees come into the chest, finding that symmetrical pose. And then as long as it's comfortable for your spine, we'll just move into Shavasana. If you need something gentle for the spine to get comfortable, please take it. That can be a gentle twist. It can be a gentle happy baby pose. So just make sure that whatever you're doing, it's preparing you for resting comfortably in Shavasana. And certainly if you need a bolster underneath your knees or some blocks, please take them. So arms down by your side. Take a few moments to settle in. And of course, if you're in a lighted room, it's helpful to have a piece of material to place over the eyes because light is a stimulant for the mind. And as you settle in, return to that check-in that we did at the very beginning of the practice, starting with the physical body, the most obvious. Just notice now how the physical body feels. And then check in with the internal organs. Has there been some sort of change or shift? Particularly around the energy that surrounds the internal organs. And then check in with the mind. Any shifts or changes there? And again, the emotions, the waves of emotion. And then just settle into the rest, letting the mind become absorbed in sensation. Very slowly begin to draw your attention back. And deepen the breath inside the body. And the thumb can run across the fingertips and the toes can wiggle. Without rushing, just gently rotate wrists and ankles. Knees can draw into the chest. And then curl to your right side into fetal. Let the arm be under the head as a pillow and settle there for a moment. Place your hand into the earth. Slowly come back up into seated. Head and neck is heavy. Eyes closed as you come up. If you'd like to elevate the sit bones, just get comfortable. So in your comfortable seated position, make sure there is a tall spine and relaxed body. Lower chin to chest. Hands to heart, return to the intention. Trust that you received what you can receive, letting the rest go. And we'll finish the practice with one more collective chant of Om. Deep inhale in. Not my will, but thy will be done. Namaste.